Hey guys, it's Taylor, and today I'm going to be talking about the One Direction concert because I went on Wednesday, August 27th, the St. Louis concert, if you don't know that date. And yes, I'm wearing my One Direction shirt, so you can kind of see that, I assume. That's kind of why I decided to stand up for this video, and I feel like it's echoey, and I'm really sorry. Let me try to turn off my fan really quick. For this video, I'm just going to be doing like an overview kind of summary of my concert experience, what happened, and all that kind of fun stuff. There's not anything too specific. Just because it's all such a rush and like there's so many different things I could talk about, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to summarize it up. I had 2 tickets to go to the One Direction concert, and originally I was going to take my mom, but then because she was going to drive me down, we would just go and then we'd go home or whatever. The problem was school just started and she teaches kindergarten, so she was really tired and other things were happening, so she was just really tired, and I was going to make her go. She really didn't enjoy it. Like she likes them, but it wasn't like one of those things where she was like so obsessed, and obviously she's not a teenage girl. Because my mom didn't feel up to going, I told my friend Maddie a week ago before the concert that I was wondering if she would love to go, and her schedule was free, so she decided to come with me, and yeah, it was awesome. So during freshman year of PE, we had the same class together, and I just remember we'd always talk about One Direction together, and then my friend Anya, sorry Anya, who doesn't really like them that much, she would always just have to listen to us talk about them, but it was really awesome. Freshman PE was a good time because we just got to talk the entire hour. The seating we got, it wasn't awful. It was really good for a couple different reasons. I mean, it wasn't the best, but you know, it's okay. It doesn't really matter to me about the seating because of the fact that I still got to go for the second year, because my parents could have just been like, well, no, you've already went once, you can't go again. So the stage was, they had like a main stage. It was in the Edward Jones Dome, if you don't know. So there's like a main stage, and then they had like a runway, and then their second stage. And we were section 443, seats 9 and 10. So their stage was like here, I guess you could say. It's hard to visualize on the camera. I was all the way up. I was pretty high up, but we were on a balcony kind of thing. So Maddie and I were the first row of said balcony. So we had amazing seats because you could see everything. Like everything you could see was perfect. There was a screen so you could like zoom. There's a screen on the main stage so you could zoom in and on. And I took most of my photos of the screen because we were so far away you couldn't actually see their faces if you were going to zoom in on a camera, but you could zoom in on the screen and you could see it fine. And it was just really awesome. That was like the main 2 things about like tickets and seating. So I wasn't anywhere near the floor. I wasn't anywhere near like the bottom, but I was up pretty high. I think I was 3 levels below the very top. But I don't really care. We were on the front row of the balcony, so we could see everything great. It was awesome. So if you didn't know, 5 Seconds of Summer was supposed to be opening for One Direction, and they have for all their U.S. concert dates except for 2, Dallas, I believe, and St. Louis. The reason for this was because 5 Seconds of Summer performed at the VMAs last Sunday, and they sang Amnesia, but then they couldn't make it back for the St. Louis concert, which I personally don't understand because you're singing one song at the VMAs on a Sunday, and then you can't get back on a Wednesday. I don't really know. I mean, I understand you've been touring a lot, you're really tired, but so is One Direction, so whatever. So anyway, because they couldn't be there, they had Jamie Scott perform, and funny story, the reason I got the shirt at the beginning of the concert, which I'm really glad I did, and because I ended up selling out, but the line there was awful because there's a table with 3 different workers, that was it, and mobs of people. There was no lines, there was no organization, just mobs. So people would like be fighting and trying to get to the front, and it was awful. So that gave me really bad anxiety. I was sitting in this line like, oh my gosh, I cannot breathe. I was freaking out, and you could hear the people in the stadium already like cheering. I was like, oh, we're going to miss One Direction. It's already going to start. Well, we didn't miss them, don't worry. So I only actually, by the time we got our shirts and by the time we got to our seats, I only heard 1.5, 2 songs of Jamie Scott's, and they were amazing. I know his album's coming out in October, so go check it out. His song that I remember is called Unbreakable. It was just so good, and he sounds so amazing live, and I think it was really awesome, and it was nice because I got introduced to a new artist. Now we're going to get into the main part that you guys probably want to hear about, the actual concert. And if I can post pictures, I'll try to do like an end show of all my different photos, but I don't know if I can do that on my editing software. I still haven't really messed with it a lot, so I'm going to try. If I don't, then you'll just won't see as many photos. My photos are up on my Facebook, which is personal, so if you know me in person and you friended me and we're friends on Facebook, you'll get those. I have a few on Instagram, and I don't think I put any on Twitter just because I was tweeting so much about it. I knew people would get annoyed. So, first off, I want to say that they sing amazing live. one of the most frustrating things about liking One Direction is the fact that everyone's always like, well, they're awful, they're a boy band. They just assume that because they're a boy band, they can't sing. And I don't know why, because Liam played piano for part of it, and Niall played guitar for most of the concert. So the fact that people just assume that they're crap because they're considered a boy band frustrates me. They were amazing live, and you could tell they were singing live, you could tell they were just, oh, it was so amazing because they truly, truly sounded awesome. And I honestly liked them singing at that concert better than listening to their album because you could tell they put their own style into it. Obviously, they did that for their album, but the album was so manufactured and processed, and that them singing at that concert was just alive, and it was who they are, what they really sound like, and just, oh, it was awesome. And that's all I can say. Like, it's hard to put their concert into words because it was just so incredible. I could tell, at least, I don't know if anyone else could, I felt like they were way happier at this concert than they were in Kansas City. I don't know if that's just like they had a 3-day break before or if they were just happier, but I could tell, like, I felt like they have a lot more freedom now, and I felt like they had a lot more of their say in their music and what they wanted to do with their concert, so that made me happy because I felt like they enjoyed it more than last year. So one of the weird things was Maddie and I were the only ones standing for the entire concert, and that kind of drove me crazy because everyone else in my section was sitting. Like, they had all sat at one point, and I'm like, what are you doing? You paid for these tickets, and if I'm paying for those tickets, I'm going to use them to my full extent. Tons of people threw their hats up on stage, and Harry wore like a Pikachu hat. They had puppets. Liam had like an ostrich puppet on his hand. Niall had a puppet on his hand. One of the cutest things ever was Harry walked down like that main aisle thing, and he was like, whose birthday is it? And obviously everyone raised their hand because you want to get noticed by Harry Styles. Well, there's this little 9-year-old girl, and he like One Direction themselves saying happy birthday to her, and it was the cutest thing ever. I really think he was going for like the mom or whoever the sister was to this little girl because she was really pretty. They put her on the Jumbotron with her like little sister or daughter, but I'm pretty sure Harry was going after the older girl and wanted to help that out. One of the awesome things is Liam did his little dance, like he did it, flipped his microphone in his hand. Niall did his little jump thing down the aisle. One of my favorite songs is Don't Forget Where You Belong. My favorite part in that song is when Zayn and Louis sing together because it's just amazing. Like, their voices go together so well. And what was really awesome with that was on the screens while they were singing the song, they had all like old footage of them playing, so like from 2010, 11, 12, all the way up to like now, and just seeing that was so awesome because you see how much they've changed, and it was just so cool. I guess you could say my favorite One Direction member is Liam Payne because I just loved him from the beginning, and he is such an entertainer. You can tell that he loves being on stage, and he loves performing, and like obviously they all do, but Liam just has this thing about him where he just gets so into it, it's so cool. Harry was just incredible because he was so cute, the way he performed and how he acted around everyone, and he just really interacted and connected with the fans. My friend Liz kind of talked to him because my friend Liz is from Britain, so she got Curly Whirlies, which are these candies, and she tried to throw them on stage because she was really close, and it hit Liam's leg, and then it fell to, a security guard grabbed it, and I threw it to the ground, so that was kind of rude, but I understand, kind of. So what was really cool, though, was Harry was walking by, and Liz was like, Harry, what, and she was trying to get his attention. He looked over at her, he's like, what? And she's like, there's candy on the ground. And so apparently he noticed that there was the Curly Whirlies, and that's pretty legit because she pretty much had a conversation with Harry Styles. Zayn did not look at the screen. Whenever, like, they had the big screens, you know, where they like project them so you could see them better, anytime he would look and he'd see that he was on the camera, he would turn around. So I kept trying to get pictures. If I do put pictures in, I'll try to show you what I mean, because I can never get him looking straight on or just like smiling. He'd always like look away. He did sing amazingly too. He hit all the high notes. It was really awesome. And one of the really awesome things about it was that they constantly said thank you to all the fans. Another part of that was they always recognized the people sitting in the back. They're like, every few songs they'd stop and they're like, we're still here, we still see you guys in the back, because those tickets in the front are really expensive. Like, I know people who bought those tickets for $700 up to $1,000 for those front row seats, and not everyone can afford that. I know I can't afford that, and so the fact that they always mentioned that the people in the back was really cool. I know, like, it'd be awesome to sit in the front. Like, that's one of my goals if I can go again next year, would to be kind of like on that main aisle, like on those kind of seats, because that'd be so cool and awesome. But obviously I know that can't always happen, and so the fact that they recognize that those people can't always afford that and that the people can't always get front row seats is really awesome. I do hope they perform and like they come back on like a weekend or during the summer or during like a break or something, because for me, The concert was a Wednesday, so I was going to film the video yesterday because today's Friday when I'm filming this. I was going to film it yesterday, but I was so dead. Like, it was awful because we got home at like 12:30, and by the time I got up for school, I had an NHS meeting in the morning, which means I had to be at school by 6:30. So I got like 4 hours of sleep, and it was pretty awful. So I would really love for them to come back in the summer so I can enjoy it and just like sleep in the next day. The one thing I feel bad about is the fact that they're always touring. I know they have like a 2015 Asia tour, I believe, like Asia, Australia, New Zealand kind of thing. And I feel so bad because they're not getting a break. And I know they're constantly writing their album. And I saw some advertisement for a book. They were like writing an autobiography. And their management's just pushing them to do so many things at once. Like they have that new movie coming out, the autobiographies, the concert for 2015, the new album at the end of the year. It's just so much stuff. And I feel bad for them because I feel like they're overwhelmed. If school doesn't work out or if I have like a gap year or something, one of the things I would love to do was be like a crew member for like a band or like a singer. Like if I could, like seeing those crews put up that stage, like I didn't watch it obviously because it was there way before I got there, but like being able to tour with that band, because I don't like being on stage like performing. I can public speak okay, I can't sing or do any of that kind of stuff. So if I could just be the backstage part of that and build the sets and like tour with a band but not actually sing, that would be like right up my alley. So like that'd be so cool. Like that is one of my dream things to do before I die. The reason I started getting into marketing was because of the One Direction concert, and I thought about how much marketing and how much design and things go into those concerts, and like that's kind of what I want to do. Like every time I go back, I kind of realize that's what I want to do. Like I would love to help design and set up a tour for a singer or a dancer or a performer or anybody. Like how cool would that be to like be the person that helps sit down with a band, sit down with an artist, and like perform and create a concert. Like that would be a dream job of mine too. That was all I really had to say about my whole concert experience. It was so incredible. If you guys have a chance to go, I would strongly recommend it because they're just so awesome live. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'm Taylor. Bye!